Hello everyone, this is the introduction to the Folded Paper Photos project. The inspiration artist for this project is Zupcu. He was born in Romania in 1960 and he studied photography there in the 1980s. He moved to the United States in 1991 where he was introduced to famous historic American artists like Ansel Adams. He became even more passionate about photography and devoted all of his time to developing his skills and learning how to be a really good printer. While initially focused on landscapes, Zupcu became interested in still life photography in the late 1990s. One of the things I really like about this photo is the simplicity of it. Simply folded pieces of paper that are put together like puzzle pieces with really interesting lighting. Some of Zupcu's photo series featured bottles, fabrics, eggs, and folded paper, which is what we're going to do. Notice in these photos that they are interesting shapes that have been formed in paper and then put together to create patterns. Then add in some creative lighting and you get some amazing results. Notice that each of these photos are titled with a day and a year. Zupcu used this photo series as a journal of sorts. One of the things I really like about these photos is the shallow depth of field. Only the very front of the photo is in focus and it's really soft, beautifully out of focus in the background. I also like the high contrast. This is 3 more photos in the series showing shapes of folded paper that are stacked or placed next to each other in interesting ways. Here is the equipment setup. You will set up a white reflector attached to a stand with a clamp. We'll see the back side of this on the next slide. You need a light attached to a stand and white paper on the table. Also, the camera attached to a tripod. This is the back side of the setup. Here's the white reflector, and here is the clamp holding it to a light stand. And this is a second light attached to the stand. The camera settings. For this project, we're going to put the camera on manual mode. Then you're going to experiment with the shutter speed, starting out with 1/15 of a second, and then adjust up and down to get the desired results. Use f11 for medium depth of field, and it's okay to experiment with others if you want to. We're going to go ahead and leave the ISO at 100. Fold paper into a variety of shapes, as seen here. Try to make sure that the tape isn't showing. Otherwise, you're going to have to use Photoshop to mask it out of the final project. Try many different arrangements, as you can see in these examples here. Editing your final photo is a crucial step. Here are the edits for this photo. It's been cropped. You'll notice that in the unedited version there is a black spot in the upper left corner. The levels have been adjusted, the contrast has been increased, and the tape was removed with the healing brush tool. You can see the tape right here, and there's also a little white line down here that was edited out. Here is your assignment. Take 10 to 20 photos. Take photos of several paper shapes placed in different positions. Turn them into Google Classroom. Evaluate your photos carefully. Choose the one with the strongest composition that clearly meets the project criteria. Edit your best photo. Check the levels, exposure, and saturation and adjust if needed. Consider making creative edits such as black and white, gradient mapping, etc. Turn in your best photo to Google Classroom. That's it. Have fun!